Hello and welcome to this tutorial on CSS. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheet, and it's a way to turn our static HTML page to be a little bit more stylistically interesting with not so much work. And so right now you can see that in my left pane I've got an index page, and I've got actually 4 different pages to this website, and on the right you can see it visualized in a browser. And so right now I've just been stylizing things using some HTML attributes and values. Well, using style sheets we can actually make that process streamlined throughout our entire website so that our colors are matching, and so the same styles that we use for one page we use for all of them. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and download a style sheet. So I have one at my website, johnsmickley.com/webdesign, and I'm going to go to the course outline, and scrolling down I can see this download here for the adding CSS section, and I'm going to go ahead and save link as. So I'm going to go and make sure that this saves in my web folder, the folder that everything else is saved under, and I'm going to make sure it's called style.css. And now there it is. It has downloaded to the web folder. Now I can see it right here. So next I'm going to code it in, and that's going to happen up in my head. And so I'm going to go ahead and make a tag that says link rel equals style sheet, and that means it's a style sheet relationship. Then I'm going to go href equals style.css because I want it to read from that particular style sheet, and then type equals text/css. And that is the code that I'm going to use so that my style sheet is connected. And you can see I've done that just on my contact page. And so let me go over to my contact page and see if it worked. And it did. And I know that it worked because my background changed, my fonts changed, the colors of my links changed, all those things changed. So let's go ahead and open up that style sheet to see what exactly it's doing. I'm going to go to File, Open, and I'm going to go to grab my style. And there it is. So you can see first of all that my body tag is being changed from my style sheet. It's telling the color of the font to all be black, and it's saying for the background color to all be white. You can see that it's also giving it a specific font family and font size. Now these are CSS properties, and they are paired with values. Every property has a value. Just like in HTML, every single attribute has a value. But in CSS, this is kind of a shorthand way of being able to make sure that every body on my page just has to be edited once here in the style sheet, and then it will affect every time it sees the body tag. So the first line you can see is relating to the tag in HTML, and everything in these curly brackets, with these open the curly and then close the curly, those are all filled with CSS properties and values. There are lots of different properties and values that you can add, and most of those I know some of them, but I would recommend just Googling ways to enhance the CSS of your site by adding different values, properties, and values. One great website that I use is w3schools.com, and if you just click on the Learn CSS tab, it's got lots of options for you to add different properties and values. For example, if you wanted to add margins or padding to different areas, you could just click on there and it will show you exactly the code that you need to write to do that. So just to start out, I know that my contact page has been connected to the style sheet because in my head I coded this one line of code. Now in my home, that's not the case, or work or hobbies. It just works in my contact because that's the one page that I added this line of code. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that by just selecting it and doing Command-C, and I'm going to go into my hobbies page, and also in the title I'm going to paste, beneath the title, I'm going to paste my code. I'm going to do that on every single page. So now every page has a style sheet linked to it. And now when I refresh my browser, I can see that every single page is connected to that style sheet. Now the next thing that I want to do is customize the style sheet a little bit. And I can go ahead and if I wanted to change the background or change the color of any font within my site, I could go ahead and change it. If I wanted to change it to red, for example, I would do FF0000, and that designates red. So now all my text is red, and that's going to affect anything in the body. Now, if I just wanted my H1s to be red, I could go down to the H1, and I can go ahead and add a line of code, a property that says color, and then make that FF0000, add a semicolon, save it, and now just my H1s are going to be red. And I could kind of do that throughout the style sheet, and customization is key. So it's referring to the body up here. Then here we have A tags, which as we know are links, and so this line of code is affecting everything that's a link. This line of code is affecting any link that has been visited, any link that's been active, and finally any link that's been hovered. You can see that my hover has a text decoration of underline, so that when I do go to a page and I hover over Korea, you can see that it has an underline and it's gray, and that's exactly what's happening in my style sheet. So that's kind of the first part of this, from basically lines 1 till, it even talks about how to add more if you have H3s. I've given a little template for you to start filling it in right here. Then paragraphs, doing the same, and even on into tables if you have tables within your website. And so that's kind of the name of the game right now, is to customize the site so that it matches the colors that you would want on your website, and it has the padding that you would want as well. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to add divs, which are divided areas of content throughout your page, because CSS not only controls the style of your site, but it also controls the layout. So we'll see that in the next video.